Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874. 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874.
U.S. President Joe Biden kicked off his second State of the Union address by touting his administration's achievements, such as the record job gains, 12 million in 2 years, and the lowest unemployment rate in 53 years. He also highlighted more than 300 bipartisan bills that he signed into law. Biden said their goal now is to export American products and not American jobs, adding that he wants the supply chain to start and end in America. The U.S. president emphasized the importance of bringing America back to being the top country in terms of best infrastructure spending in the world. And with the infrastructure bill, they have already started 20,000 new projects. Biden also announced that all construction materials of federal projects will be using materials made in America. Shifting gears to issues hitting home to millions of Americans, Biden sent a strong message to Big Pharma regarding overpricing of insulin, capping the price to $35 a month. He says it's time to cut the cost of insulin for everybody, even those on private insurance. He also committed to veto any bill that would increase the rate of prescription drugs. But he noted millions of Americans are still not on Medicare. With the recent diplomatic controversy over the alleged Chinese spy balloon shot down this week, the U.S. president insisted he does not want to make China an enemy, but rather a fierce yet friendly competitor in the world market. But he said he knows when to draw the line.
I'm committed to work with China where we can advance American interests and benefit the world, but make no mistake about it. As we made clear last week, if China threatens our sovereignty, we will act to protect our country, and we did.
He also called for a tax hike for the ultra-rich, with a minimum tax of 20% on billionaires. Biden declared that no billionaire should be paying a tax rate lower than a school teacher and a firefighter. He rallied everyone to stand up for seniors and not to cut Social Security and Medicare, earning him a standing ovation. On immigration, he issued an appeal to strengthen border control in the southern border and again called on a pathway to citizenship for dreamers, farm workers, and essential workers. He wrapped it up by rallying Congress to be hopeful.
And to my Republican friends, if we could work together the last Congress, there's no reason we can't work together and find consensus on important things in this Congress as well. I think the people sent us a clear message. Fighting for the sake of fighting Power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere.
Amid all the mentioned goals and promises, it was more than clear to many analysts that Biden was planting the seeds for a presidential run in 2024.
The controversial and closely followed probe into the killings of radio commentator Percy Lapid Mabasa and alleged middleman June Villamor ended quietly on Wednesday. Neither suspended Bureau of Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag nor his supporters showed up, and neither did the Mabasa family. Instead, Bantag's lawyer, Rocky Thomas Balisong, appeared and submitted to the panel his client's counter-affidavit, already sworn to in Baguio City on Tuesday, February 7. In his 42-page counter-affidavit, Bantag questioned the credibility of the inmates who testified against him and pointed out the inconsistencies in their statements.
Here comes the statement of the two PDLs, Galicia and Labra, stating that they came up with an agreement for the killing of Percy Lapid on the second week of September. So that is inconsistent with the statement of the gunman when he stated that as early as September 5, he and Villamor already talked with each other for the killing of Percy Lapid.
Bantag asked why self-confessed gunman Joel Escorial, who admitted to shooting Mabasa, did not name him in his initial affidavit. Instead, Escorial named Bantag as the alleged mastermind only in his supplemental affidavit after Villamor had been killed. Authorities earlier claimed Bantag, through his deputy Ricardo Zulueta, instructed Bucor inmates to hire Escorial to kill Lapid. But one of the gang leaders supposedly failed to mention Christopher Bacoto, one of the alleged middleman, in his affidavit, allegedly casting doubt on Bantag's connection to the killings. In the case of Villamor, the only connection to Bantag is a statement from an inmate who quoted Zulueta warning him that Bantag's name should not surface. The suspended prisons chief dismissed as hearsay Villamor's supposed dying declaration to his sister, naming Bantag as the mastermind in the Lapid killing. He pointed out a dying declaration can only refer to the circumstances of a person's own death and not Villamor revealing details of somebody else's death. Bantag turned the tables on Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Rebulla, accusing him of using an inmate, Herman Agojo, to hire Villamor and Escorial to have Mabasa killed. Remulla, he said, has all the motives to have Mabasa killed after the radio commentator called him bunjing, a derogatory term on his radio program. Despite the submission of a counter-affidavit, Bantag's lawyer maintains they will still question the jurisdiction of the DOJ panel, which had twice junked their bid for inhibition.
While we are following the rules on submission of counter-affidavit, it is ad cautelam because we are not abandoning our original stand of continuing to question the jurisdiction of the panel and the whole DOJ. In other words, this will not be treated as abandoning our motion for inhibition because we will still push with it before the proper authorities.
Meanwhile, Zulueta was again not present during Wednesday's probe, but was represented by a collaborating counsel who tried to ask for time to submit his own counter-affidavit, but the panel denied the request.
One of the counsels manifested that she is the collaborating counsel of Attorney Gakayan. However, based on record, there's no entry of appearance of Attorney Gakayan, so we cannot consider her officially as a representative of Zulueta.
Without a counter-affidavit, the panel will consider Zulueta to have waived his right to raise his defenses. 3 other respondents, alleged to be Escorial's companions on the night of the killing, did not take part in the probe.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. Guess what? They want your money and they can take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter right over here that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you right now. So what do? You fight back by letting our team of experts work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And hey, we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws, and we'll fight really hard to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, Call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket. 5 minutes of your time right now can save you thousands of dollars. And the best part, it's a free call. So please call right now.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Time has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very exciting personality, a Pinoy who's an actor. And his name is Ben Farrell. And
Hi.
he's very young, good looking. Welcome to our show, Ben. And
Salamat po, salamat po.
I invited you here to appear on our show because I received this press release about you that Mr. Ben Farrell is the winner of this award of Broadway World Chicago Award. Is that
Yes, opo. Uh-huh.
okay? Well, okay, Ben. You're an actor and a
Mhm.
nurse at the same time.
Yes, working as a nurse as well.
All right. So, okay, give us a little bit of background about yourself and also, of course, your career in acting.
Yes. So, pinanganak ko ako sa Pilipinas. I was born in Baguio. And then I came to the US nung 16 years old ako. So I live with my uncle, my aunt. And dito ako nag-college. So dito ako nakakuha ng nursing and communication degree. So actually, since college pa lang, nasa theater na ako doing community theater. So gano'n naman nagsisimula lahat ng actor. Yung dun muna sa mga free, mga walang bayad. And then eventually, nag-progress ako dun sa film, TV, and then paid theater finally. And then eventually it went on to like voiceovers, commercials. So parang nag-snowball lang siya na gano'n, nag-expand siya over the years.
Well, Ben, it seems that acting is it's just a hobby on your part, right? Is that?
It's a hobby for right now, pero I'd like it to get to the point na parang siya na yung parang magiging 100% na source of income. So right now, hindi medyo part-time pa siya, ganun. Pero eventually, hopefully, at some point in time, kung halimbawa man may there's a series regular or recurring role on a TV show, or kung halimbawa na there's a theater contract na medyo mas stable yung kita, I'll definitely like go 100% with that.
But first love mo ang acting.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's something yun yung parang mas gusto kong I'd like to do that for a living, pretty much.
And your nursing is your bread and butter.
Yes, it is bread and butter, helps me pay the bills.
Okay, okay. All right. How did you turn out to be an actor? Paano ka
Okay. There's actually a story, and this is a true story. So nung high school ako, when I was in the Philippines, second year high school, so yung isa sa mga kaibigan ko, she lent me a copy of Gone with the Wind, which is isa sa mga classics ng American cinema yun. And then so I finished that movie that's like 4 hours long. At the end of the movie, sabi ko, that's what I want to be. I want to become an actor. So kaya pagdating ko sa US, like I made sure na I pursued it. So hinanapan ko siya ng time, hinanapan ko siya ng effort para I can be on stage or I can start like working on an acting career.
Did you enroll in acting class?
Oh yes, I've taken madami akong acting class na pag-aralan. So meron akong private acting classes. I've had like some private voice lessons. And then I was also a student sa Chicago Actor Studio, and now I'm with Max Arciniega. So isa siya dun sa mga actors sa Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. So meron siyang school of acting. So I'm taking classes with him right now as well.
How did you, I mean, how were you able to do acting and working as a nurse at the same?
Yeah. So, ang ginawa ko ho is, so basically like yung most of the nursing work na kinuha ko is like yung sa umaga siya nangyayari. Para at least sa gabi, free sa theater. And then nung nagsisimula pa lang ako noon, so on the weekends, I can do like film, short films and all that. And then sa evening, teatro naman yun, sa umaga, nursing. Tapos eventually, like in 2018, I decided to go full-time. So nag-quit ako for nursing for like about a year. So I tried to make it like full-time, pero hindi pa siya ganun ka-hot. So nag-part-time muna ako sa nursing. So I went to home health. So yung nagbibisita ako ng pasyente. So hawak ko yung schedule ko. So basically, halimbawa, may shoot ako, may commercial ako, or anything like that. Pwede kong i-move yung pasyente. So that's kind of like how I made it work. So humanap ako ng nursing job na would be pretty flexible and would pay enough for me to be able to pursue an acting career.
Amazing. You're so amazing.
Yeah, pero wala akong mansyon. That's yun ang yun ang effect nun. Pero yes, I feel a lot better being able to pursue a career like that.
Okay, sabihin mo nga anong nangyari? I mean, when you won this award, what's it all about? I mean, please tell us a little bit about this show, this play.
Okay, so yung for my most recent win, so yung Failure, a Love Story. So kakaiba siya kasi honestly, nakakast ako sa mga play hindi as an Asian or as a Filipino. A lot of times yung race is not even like a factor. So like for example for this one, Failure, a Love Story, it's the story of white people. Pero Oil Lamp Theater has been really like hammering on diversity and all that. So they didn't care na hindi ako puti. I'm not Caucasian, so they cast me in this play. So basically, this play is a story of three sisters, and then paano sila nag-cope after the death of their parents. So yung role ko dito, ako yung ampon na lalaki who's actually secretly in love with one of the sisters dun sa play. So medyo may romance, and then meron din like I'm also like a little bit slow. In this play. So meron ding so madami siyang layers pretty much. Something na hindi ko usually pine-play as an actor, pero I took it dahil sabi ko, well, something different. So kaya masaya siya dahil this is a play na if I played it up kung halimbawa kung pinili nila na no, this has to be a white person, this is a white person play. So this is an exciting opportunity for me para ipakita sa kanila na no, we can play in any play as long as you're not going to have those blinders on na kailangan puti lang ang magpe-play nito. So that's the kind of play it is and the kind of production that it is.
Anong ka? Hindi ka puti. O hindi, well, what was your role? I mean, what?
Yeah.
Ano ka? Filipino or Asian?
So actually hindi siya I think it worked out kasi parang ampon ako doon, pero yung pangalan ko is medyo puti yung pangalan, it's like John N. Fail. So I think that's how they kind of like swung it. Na pwede ko siyang kapatid, si Kendall Romero, which is white. I've actually played Kendall's brother every time na magkasama kami sa play kasi I've worked with her before. And then siblings din ng namin. So I think ganun yung chemistry namin. So I think yung production, they relied more on dun sa chemistry namin ni Kendall. Rather than like Kendall's white and I'm brown. So theaters in Chicago don't really like that's not a big blinder for them anymore na ay hindi po pwede yan kasi Pilipino yan ganyan. So mas open sila for what we call open casting or blind casting. So which is maganda Kaya nga lagi ko sinasabi sa yung sa mga kasama kong actors na Filipino na, no, the door is open. All you need to do, show up sa auditions, and then, they'll put you in. They have a place for you. So, yeah.
Wala nang stereotyping.
Depends on the theater company. Pero I've been very lucky na yung mga nakakatrabaho kong mga theater companies like Sigman Brothers. Sigman Brothers has given me like a lot of roles na usually mga puti yun, like a French baker or like like a white dwarf, Pero they didn't care. All they cared about was I was able to do justice doon sa mga roles na yon. So I've been fortunate enough na yung mga theater companies na nakakatrabaho ko, hindi issue sa kanila na Pilipino ko, na I'm brown, I'm the only like Asian in the cast. It's hindi issue sa kanila yun. Ang importante sa kanila, nagagawang ba niya ng justice yung role. So I've been really fortunate to have to have worked with those people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so far, how old were you when you started acting?
So when I started acting, so I was 16. Kasi pagpunta ko dito sa America, 16 years old ako. Tapos on and off, theater yon. And then I started doing film, siguro mga like 2009. So yung mga short film muna yon, dire-diretso. Tapos I took a break kasi sabi ko, is acting really for me? Kasi sabi ko, parang wala namang masyadong pera dito, di ba? Pero after 4 years, I got my communications degree. Parang I got pulled back again. So siguro cumulatively mga 12 years na I've been doing it. I've been doing it as a professional actor since 2018. So about 5 years professionally, 12 years as a whole.
So ilan lahat ang so far as an actor, ilan lahat ang yung mga shows that
Nako. Hindi ko na mabilang. Kaya, kasi ang ginagawa ko dun sa resume ko, kasi since limited lang yung space, so on my resume, siguro there's like 12 of them. Tapos nagsa-cycle out na lang yun. So there's at least like 12 dun sa resume ko. Pero hindi ko na ako mabilang kung ilan yung tinanggal ko na dun dahil matanda na yung credits or something like that, or I got better credits. So madami na ho siya. Siguro if very conservative estimate, siguro mga 55 shows. And then siguro mga for short film and TV, about like 30 or 40 siguro. Pero on my resume, 12 lang yung nakalagay doon para kasi space. Kasi isang page lang dapat ang acting resume eh. Kaya ano.
Do you go out of town, outside of Chicago, for your performances?
So right now, hindi ako nagtutour for like theater. Pero kapag commercial, yes, I do travel out. So may ginawa ko commercial noon sa Lansing, Michigan. And then I did a teleprompter gig sa Fort Wayne. So yung meron din kasi akong mga agent sa labas ng Chicago. So naghahanap din sila ng work sa akin for all of that. So I love to travel. Kaya yun, sa mga ganun, commercials, voiceovers, teleprompter gigs, I do travel out of Chicago for that.
How does that affect your nursing job?
Yun nga, yung ginagawa ko noon is, kung halimbawa, may gig ako for that day. So hindi ako kukuha ng pasyente for that day. So or kung halimbawa kung may pasyente ako for that day, kausapin ko yung pasyente, hey, pwede bang bisitahin kita like some other day? Kailangan ako nung other job ko. So yun yung lagi ko sinasabi. So kaya namumove around ko siya na ganun. So talagang it's playing by ear, making sure na everything is going to fit, and na nakukuha ko lahat ng opportunity for acting. Kasi hindi ko naman sasabing bihira, pero hindi siya yung araw-araw. So kapag dumadating siya, talagang I make sure na I grab the opportunity at saka talagang pinag-aanuhan ko siya ng oras. Pinag-aalayan ko siya ng oras.
Really?
Mm.
Okay, so you're an amazing person. How do you find yourself? I mean, how do you? Okay, from now on, you're still young. You're still a young person, and for the future, how do you find yourself? Concentrating on in acting or in nursing?
Still concentrating on acting, pero like in my case right now, gusto ko na, in order for me to go into like acting more full time, yung mas gusto ko muna makaipon muna, make myself like a little bit more like financially stable. Ganon. So kaya nag-switch ako ng work. So I'm working full time at a doctor's office for right now. So ang gagawin ko muna is I'll focus more on theater rather than like doing film and TV. Dahil this is actually a secret, pero we're on TV now. So I'm thinking of joining the union like around like March or April. So yun yung actors equity na tinatawag. So basically kapag ang isang actor sumali siya sa actors equity or yung screen equivalent niya is like Screen Actors Guild, puro union job na lang ang makukuha nun. Pero syempre kung union job yung makukuha mo, mas malaki na yung bayad and then you're getting paid every week and all that. Pero mas kaunti yung jobs na umiikot. So kaya at this point in time sabi ko, well, since mag-union naman ako, I'll take a full-time job kasi I'm anticipating na uunti yung mga jobs na makukuha ko for union. Pero I'm positioning myself a lot better for for like yung bigger roles like yung mga plays sa Steppenwolf, Goodman, and all that. And then that will also allow me to apply sa Screen Actors Guild. So at least pwede din ako maging union sa film and TV. So it's positioning myself a little better to get to my goal. Kasi ang goal ko is to be a recurring character in a TV show before I turn 40. Kasi unfortunately in this industry, my shelf life lahat ng mga tao. So whether you're female or male, once you get to 40, you have to start preparing for like character roles. Ganun. So which I play character roles, so wala akong issue doon. Hindi ako hang up sa yung mga glamour and yung kailangan lagi kang young and beautiful and all that. So pero I know the reality of this business. So yun yung parang pinaka goal ko is make sure I'm able to transition to TV. To get myself to the point wherein eventually, like when I'm 50, I'll be able to produce my own stuff para hindi ako laging nakadepende sa ibang tao to cast me. Especially as I get older and I assume uunti yung mga roles na pwedeng ibigay sa akin.
Okay. So how do you see yourself 20
Yeah.
years from now?
Yeah. So basically, like, well, ideally, like I see myself as doing TV. Within like the next like 10 to 20 years. So, going from like co-stars in yung mga one-liner, mga ganon, and then moving on to like recurring, and then hopefully getting a series regular show. So before gusto ko noon na movies kasi dati noon parang glamorous yung movies tapos malaki yung pero mas maganda yung TV kasi mas stable yung employment sa TV and residuals. Ang pelikula kasi kapag pinanood mo, isang bayad lang yun sa'yo. Pero ang TV, every episode na papanoorin ka, binabayaran ka dun eh. So, so kaya mas nakikita ko yung sarili ko sa TV. And I think like in my case, like my personality is more fit to television, especially a sitcom. That's actually like yun yung pinaka gusto kong project na mapabilang is a sitcom.
Who is your inspiration?
Thank you.
Who is your inspiration?
My inspiration, like acting wise, or like just in life in general.
Nice.
Acting wise, okay. Actually, I'm a Vilma Santos fan. So like, oh yeah, yung buong pamilya ko is Vilmanian yung mga yun. So that's why I was never exposed to Nora Honor until like napunta ako sa US. Like we are the family that watch Vilma on Friday nights. So yeah, so si Vilma yung actually first inspiration ko sa acting kasi nakikita ko na parang totoo yung laging mga pagganap niya eh, 'di ba? Na so parang na-inspire ako doon. Sabi ko I want to do that. Na lahat ng gagawin ko sa acting gusto ko totoo, nararamdaman ng ibang tao at saka nakaka-relate yung mga tao. Pero like in dito like in America, Marlon Brando is actually like one of my biggest inspirations. When it comes to acting. So sa American cinema, it's Marlon Brando. Sa Philippine cinema, it's Vilma Santos.
All right. Very good. Okay. We're running out of time. Okay. You're a very interesting guest.
Salamat po.
Yeah. And okay. Say something about your recent award in acting.
Yes. Yeah, so I won my third Broadway World Award for Best Supporting Performer in a Play sa isang production ng Oil Lamp Theater, ang Failure, A Love Story. So nagpapasalamat ako sa mga tao na bumoto at nag-promote kasi syempre yung para makakuha ka ng award para dun sa pinaghihirapan mo, nakakataba siya ng puso at saka nakaka-encourage siya. So maraming salamat dun sa mga sumuporta, sa mga bumili ng ticket. Nagpapasalamat din ako dun sa mga nagkasa akin sa Oil Lamp Theater, people I've worked with, and especially like sa family ko, like my mom and my dad are not really hot on me becoming an actor, pero you know, tuwing Broadway World Awards, talagang laging nagka-canvas ng boto yan. So nakakataba ng puso na alam ko kahit ayaw, gusto nila ako talagang maging nurse full time, pero nakakataba ng puso na nakikita nila na hindi lang naman ako yung parang tawag doon, nabibiyaan ito, parang naipapakita nila na like through me, pinapakita natin na the door is open for Filipinos, for people of color, to be able to get into the arts. Gusto din tayong makita ng mga puti in theater, in film, and in TV. They're very interested to hear our story, and I'm happy that through this award, nakikita nila na our stories are worth telling and our people are worth seeing.
Fantastic. Okay. Have you met other Filipino actors in the area?
Actually, I'm connected with Ginger Leopoldo. So Ginger Leopoldo is the artistic director of Cprtv. Arvin Halandon is like one of my biggest connections, actually, kasi we did a short film before. And then there's also like Robert Manzano. And then in the theater world, I'm also connected with Eugene Dizon. He's the musical director at Mercury Theater. He's won 5 Jeffs, so that's our equivalent of the Tonys. And then si Kuya Jay Espanyo with Pride Arts. He's the artistic director. So I'm connected with with some of the actors in the community.
Terrific. Okay. Then I congratulate you for your award. And I wish you good luck to all your undertakings, particularly in your acting career. Maraming salamat sa iyo at I hope to see you again in the future, in the near future. I think you're really very, very interesting. And
Salamat po. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and it's a joy.
Yeah, thank you for gracing our show today. And okay, Ben Farrow. Wow.
Yes.
Broadway.
Salamat po. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye.
Sige po. Thank you po, Miss Veronica.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down and down. It's happened during every economic cycle, and it will happen again. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value and sometimes grows during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
US Med, a trusted supplier of diabetes equipment for nearly 30 years, has great news for people living with diabetes and the pain of regular testing. The days of repeated, painful finger sticks are over. Now you can wear a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, and eliminate routine finger sticks. If you use insulin daily to manage your condition, a continuous glucose monitor could help you control your diabetes and reduce or eliminate those painful finger sticks. If you have Medicare or private insurance, US Med can deliver a CGM system right to your door. And if you qualify, there may be little or no cost to you. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurer directly. Don't spend one more painful day testing your blood sugar. Call now to get your continuous glucose monitoring system so you can take control of your diabetes and get back to enjoying life.
Call US Med now.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting guest, a very interesting topic to talk about. And of course, her name is Miss Mary Anderson from AARP, as you can see on her frame. And AARP stands for, what's the American
Association for Retired People, but we just go by AARP.
For AARP. Okay. And Mary Anderson is the Director, Advocacy and Outreach of AARP Northern Illinois. And the topic today is older adults ready to leave Chicago. You believe that? We know that for a long time. And so it says here 9 to 10, which is 88% of Chicago voters aged 50 plus have considered leaving the city in the past year to live in safer community with a lower crime rate. How is that? That is really a fact.
Yeah, so we did a survey of voters 50 and older in the city of Chicago, and we asked them about what are the important issues for them. And we asked them if any of them had thought about leaving the city in the last year. And 43% had said yes, they thought about leaving in the last year. And 66% said they had friends or family who had thought about leaving. And when asked, well, why would you think about leaving? 88% said that they wanted to move to a safer community. That was the top reason. And then the second reason was because of a lower overall cost of living. So we found in our survey that the really top issues for voters in Chicago are community safety, affordability, and essential services.
Who did the survey?
Well, our department, so AARP has wonderful resources, and we have at the national level a whole research department. And so they did a phone survey where they reached out to over 1,000 different individuals over the age of 50 in Chicago and did half-hour interviews of them about the issues that are important to them.
Okay, the mayoral election, Chicago mayoral election is coming up. And it will be on February 28th, I think. And so, well, this is a very, very good topic to talk about from the, from the, to let them, to let the voters know what they're planning to do with these issues.
So true. So the first round of the mayoral race is February 28th. And then if no one gets the majority, then there'll be a runoff between the top two candidates. And that election day is April 4th. So as of right now, early voting has started. So voters can actually start right now voting in their precincts. And if you want information on how to vote in Chicago, you can just go to our website. We go to aarp.org/IL. And there's a voter guide there to tell you how to register to vote and how to vote in this election.
Okay, people are moving out because of the number of crimes that's being happening in this city, and also the high cost of prices all over. And what else? What are the other factors?
So we found out that the top issues for those older adults are that community safety, affordability, and essential services. And we found out what are the issues that are making voters decide who to vote for. And so voters want to know what are the mayoral candidates' positions on decreasing crime and increasing safety, what their position is on affordable housing and on property taxes, as well as other kind of costs, fees and fines, and high utility bills that make the city so expensive to live in. They're also very concerned about making sure that there are essential services at the neighborhood level. So accessible healthcare and health services, supporting services for caregiving, and also services such as mental health services. Those seem to be the biggest issues for older adults in Chicago.
Mary, when was this survey conducted?
We conducted the survey at the end of November for a period of 2 weeks, so it's very recent.
Citizens of Chicago really have to be abreast of all these issues in order to elect their right mayor for the city.
Yeah. And why it's so important for older adults to really understand the issues is because 86% of adults over the age of 50 are going to be voting in this election. So in other words, older adults are going to decide who is the next mayor of Chicago. And we are telling that to all the candidates. I mean, it's very important that youth vote, and it's very important that everyone's involved, but in the end, older adults will decide who is the mayor of Chicago.
All right, that's very interesting. What else, Mary? What can you say about for this upcoming election?
Sure thing. So the other issues that are important to older adults, not only that community safety, but jobs and the economy are important. Access to quality healthcare, and that includes vaccines. We heard a lot about vaccines, and also taking the opinions of older adults into account and taking them seriously. So older adults really want older adult issues and their outcomes and the way they can age in place in the city to be part of the conversation. So we're actually holding these candidates accountable for that. We're holding 2 community forums with all 9 candidates. We're doing one tonight on WGN-TV at 7 o'clock, and we're also doing one tomorrow with Crane Chicago Business. We're also sitting down one-on-one with every single candidate, and we're grilling them on these issues to let them know that older adults in Chicago want them to be addressing these issues and to keep older adults into account. So we're holding the candidates accountable.
Terrific, Mary. Terrific. A very good announcement. And so hopefully we can reach these adult voters that will really make it, make Chicago happen. I mean, a real good city to live in again instead of leaving the Chicago area. Hopefully they would decide on living here in the city.
Yeah, we really want to make sure that Chicago is safe and affordable for older adults to be able to age in place. I mean, many adults, probably like yourself, like we've invested in like owning a home or renting an apartment, and we want to be able to stay there. We want to be able to walk to the grocery store. We want to be able to play with our grandkids in the park. We want to be able to see our doctor. And those are the things that are really important to older adults in Chicago. And we want to make sure the candidates know that.
Great. Terrific. Miss Mary Anderson of AARP. And thank you for gracing our show today. And well,
thank you so much for having us. And just a reminder to your listeners, if you want any information on how to vote in this election, just go to aarp.org/il. And thank you so much for having me, Veronica.
Thank you, Mary. And anytime you can give me a call for any updates out there.
We definitely will. Thank you.
How would you like to get high-speed internet for your home for less than $2 a day? That's right, for about $50 a month, you'll get lightning fast internet. Are you paying less than $50 a month right now for your internet? Then call Whole Home Connect right now for blazing fast internet at $50 a month with no price increases, no hidden fees, no contracts, no equipment fees. It's a great deal. And guess what? You can try it for 15 days. If you don't like it, you get your money back, but you're gonna love it, and you're gonna love the price. Internet for your home for $50 a month. That's less than $2 a day. Plus, no contracts, no equipment fees, and our 15-day guarantee. Call now.
Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. Again, 800-555-1212. Don't wait. Call us right now.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po. Hello, good day, Cprtv viewers. Pastor Ed Cortez here from Faith Family Worship Center. And I'm coming to you to share our devotion for today. It's found in Psalm chapter 2, and the title of this devotion is The Hope of the Coming King. Psalm 2 is one of those messianic psalms that points to the future arrival of an eternal King, Christ the Lord. He is described as the one enthroned in heaven. That's in verse 4 of Psalm chapter 2. He is the absolute sovereign ruler of the universe, with whom no nation, ruler, or power can ever match or compare with. Jesus' first coming was the incarnation, when he came as a human being to suffer and die for the sins of the world. He is coming again a second time, and this is what Psalm chapter 2 is referring about. He is coming again for the second time as the triumphant and reigning king. Why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain? Verse 1 begins the psalmist. You know, there are no political or social institutions ever founded by man that can bring world peace or solve humanity's problems. The League of Nations rose from the ashes of World War I. It was replaced by the United Nations with the same intent of promoting world peace. But world peace proves to be as elusive as ever. Ukraine continues to suffer from the brunt of a devastating war unleashed by Russia. The Middle East has never seen any rest from centuries of conflicts. Myanmar is again spiraling out of control due to another civil war. See, throughout history, there is a desperate call for a new world order in which peace, prosperity, and the rule of law will prevail. But it will only come when a new king, a far greater ruler than anyone in history, will begin to reign. In this Psalm chapter 2, David, considered to be one of the greatest kings of Israel, human kings, he saw the coming of the Messiah as the triumphant, overcoming king. Millenniums ahead of his time, he said, I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. That's in verse 6. So while we await the coming of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, today, right now, we can welcome him into our hearts by faith. World peace may be beyond the reach of so many political and social institutions, but then we can have internal, personal peace with God through a relationship with his son Jesus. Then, according to verse 11, we can serve the Lord with fear, not out of intimidation or coercion, but out of a sense of awe and wonder and humility to his awesome power, unfathomable wisdom, and perfect judgment. Thank you, and God bless you, and see you next time.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is the perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-5555 3929. That's 855 332 3929. Call 855 332 3929.
Good afternoon. This is Bridget Carino Quetta bringing you this week's local news from our community. Hundreds of Asian American community members gathered at tonight's mayoral candidate forum hosted by the Pan-Asian Voter Empowerment Coalition and Asian Americans Advancing Justice in Chicago. Leading up to the first mayoral election since the Atlanta spa shootings and huge spike in anti-Asian violence throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, 7 out of 9 candidates for mayor attended, and Mayor Lori Lightfoot was invited but was not able to attend. Grace Pai, Executive Director of Asian Americans Advancing Justice in Chicago and one of the moderators of the forum, said, Asian Americans are the fastest growing racial and ethnic group in Chicago and the entire country, and we make up 7% of Chicago's population. Tonight's forum was about elevating Asian Americans' voices and the issues that are important to our communities. National Burn Awareness Week, February 5th through the 11th, is an initiative of the American Burn Association. During this time, burn, fire, and life safety educators increase public awareness on the frequency, devastation, and causes of burn injuries, as well as consistent and authoritative measures to prevent these injuries and how to best care for those who are injured. The theme for National Burn Awareness Week 2023 is Hot Liquids Burn Like Fire. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, 276,086 people received medical care for treatment of unintentional burn injuries in 2020, with 3,028 deaths from fire and smoke inhalation. Of 87 hospitals reporting to the American Burn Association Registry, 91,875 people were treated for burn-related injuries, with 32% of those being for scalds. According to the National Fire Protection Association, approximately every 60 seconds, someone in the U.S. sustains a burn injury serious enough to require treatment. A scald injury can happen at any age. Children, older adults, and people with disabilities are especially at risk. Retirees are better off in North Dakota and Nebraska than in Illinois, according to a new analysis from WalletHub. Illinois came in 7th from last compared to other states, according to the ranking. The study measured the state's affordability, quality of life, and health care. WalletHub analyst Jill Gonzalez said Illinois wound up in the bottom 10 of the 50 states because of how its economy is made up. Illinois ranked 44th overall. Illinois is much less affordable than the other Midwest states, Gonzalez told the Center Square. In general, it costs more to retire in Illinois than it does in most other states in the country. Despite Illinois not taxing retirement income, general tax policy and lack of taxpayer friendliness were the main factors in Illinois' low ranking, Gonzalez said. Governor J.B. Pritzker and the Illinois Board of Higher Education have awarded $10.5 million in grants through the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund program to 21 institutions of higher education in Illinois. These funds will be used to provide academic and social-emotional learning supports for students most impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, especially Black, Latino, low-income, first-generation, working adults, and rural students. Grants to public institutions were allocated using a formula to ensure equitable distribution, and grants were awarded to non-public institutions through a competitive application process. The COVID-19 pandemic created unprecedented challenges for our students, said Governor J.B. Pritzker. For many of them, particularly those from historically disadvantaged groups, they struggled to recover. I'm proud to announce these relief grants for 21 institutions, which will empower colleges and universities to help students get back on track and give them the tools they need to succeed and graduate from their programs. Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle announced nearly $16 million in funding for the Climate Resiliency Planning in Communities program, an initiative led by the county's Department of Environment and Sustainability to improve climate resiliency in 5 suburban Cook County communities over the next 4 years. We know the climate is changing, and communities hit hardest are those which have already faced generations of disinvestment. Reacting to frequent storms, intense heat waves, and other devastating impacts can be dangerous and costly. It is imperative that communities build resiliency so they are stronger in the face of these challenges and able to bounce back quickly, said President Preckwinkle. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you're struggling with your own tax nightmare, we've got great news. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
And that's our show for today. Thank you all for watching Chicago Philippine Reports TV. We hope you will stay safe and enjoying this day with your family and friends. I'm Maria Girly Pascual. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay, and we'll see you back here next week.